You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. We are very, very pleased that you are here, and you are here on purpose. There is an increasing energy on this planet, and you can all feel it. You all know it. You come here to this place to buy crystals, have your fortunes told, lie in med beds, and all kinds of interesting things. But the truth of the matter is, you are all you need. But what you do have in your possession that most people do not realize is the most powerful creative device in the universe, and that is the human mind. You are made in the image of the divine, and you have the power of a God to create worlds. You, in fact, create your world. You create your life, you create your body, and most of you are doing it unconsciously. We want you to understand this, that you have been given a gift on this planet at this time, and it is called A Course in Miracles. I've heard of that book, you say, but what the truth of the Course in Miracles is this. It is the handbook for your mind. You are currently being bombarded with more propaganda than you know. Yes, you know about CNN. Yes, you know about commercials for McDonald's. But the truth of the matter is, almost every single experience you have had on this planet is a training program for your mind. Now, if you do not own your mind, somebody else will. And A Course in Miracles is designed to teach you how to own your own mind and to align with the frequency of love, and to be shown, with help by me and many other teachers who are non-physical, to show you where you are off track. And the truth of the matter is, in this interesting world in which you find yourself, there are no secrets being hidden from you. You do not have to join a secret society. You do not have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to be told the truth. The truth is, you are divine and you are a powerful creator, but you have not been given the manual for the vehicle in which you reside. A Course in Miracles was brought through for this time. It is a divine manuscript that will show you the inner workings of your consciousness. The truth of the matter is this: everything that is outside of you is in fact coming from you. It is a fiction to think that the politicians or the systems or the wars are outside of you. They are all being generated from within the collective, and you are all contributing to the collective. So when you look outside of yourself for a healing, when you look outside of yourself for information, in fact, it is unnecessary, and it is an illusion that it is outside of you. It is all coming from you. The difficulty that most of you have is judgment. The difficulty that most of you have is fear. You block the information and knowledge that is easily accessible if you are functioning at the frequency of love. Your body functions perfectly at the frequency of love. Your connection to the divine functions perfectly at the frequency of love. Every time you look in the mirror and think you do not look good, you are stepping away from love. Every time you look at a character on your TV shows or your social media or your phones and you judge them and think they have strange hair or they speak funny, you are stepping away from love. Every time you take sides in a war, you are stepping away from love. And so it is self-inflicted suffering that the Course in Miracles is designed to relieve you from. Mind training seems like a new idea, but you are all deeply mind trained. Your schooling system trained you, your mother trained you, your father trained you, Gilligan's Island trained you, religion trained you, university trained you, the newscasts trained you. Every single piece of information that the modern Western mind has encountered is training you. And so if you do not take back your mind, you will be doing what others want you to do, whether it is the banking system telling you that they will keep your money safe, whether it is the food system that tells you pizza is a good idea on a Friday night. These are all propaganda systems. You do not have 10 or 12 or 14 or 15 programs running. You have thousands. And this is what we want to convince you of tonight, that you have a responsibility not only to yourself, but to your family, to your community, and most importantly, to this planet at this time, to clarify your mind and clear it and free it of all of these programs. Most of you think you are free to choose, but in fact, you are programmed to choose. And we want to assure you of this, that freedom, creativity, and love is what you are made for. It is what you are made from. It is only that you have layers and layers of dirt and propaganda on top of that. So you have everything that you need. You merely have to learn to let go of the programs that restrict you, the programs that tell you you're a body and that you're going to die, the programs that tell you you have to be a certain weight or your hair has to be a certain length, the programs that tell you that you shouldn't say this or you shouldn't say that. One of the greatest programs you have on your planet is the idea that sacrifice and suffering is holy. This was taught to you by the Catholic Church. It is a deeply embedded program in your society, and you truly, truly believe that to suffer and sacrifice, to put your needs behind others, makes you a better person. What it does, in fact, is make you unhappy. What it does, in fact, is limit you. You are a limitless being. You have chosen to come here into separation. I want you to understand this, that your body is the demonstration that you believe in separation. It is the evidence that your ego uses on a daily basis to prove that you have been abandoned by God. You see this body. It seems to age. It seems to get sick. It seems to die. How can God be with you if that happens? But the truth of the matter is this, that God did not create your body. You decided to come into separation. It is you that abandoned God. You have come here into this world to chase your idols. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, sickness, money, power, beauty, whatever your idol is, that is why you came here. And that is why this is an exceedingly difficult place to live. Because you abandoned God, you stepped away from love so that you could be the captain of your ship, so that you could do whatever you want, however you wanted to do it. And God loved you so much that God said, okay, go forth and have fun. I will be here when you have tired of this game of 3 dimensions. So here you are decades upon this planet, and you look around you and you see the chaos, you see the declining this, the decrepitude of that, and you begin to wonder, how am I going to live in this world? How am I going to thrive in this world? It seems to be getting more and more difficult. What we want you to know is this, that you have to have the right manual. You have to have the understanding that there's something that you're doing that is creating this world. The thing that you are doing is judging. The thing that you are doing is making others guilty. The thing that you are doing is seeing yourself as a victim of this world. The government takes my money. I've been abused in my childhood. I have not been given what other people have been given. I am powerless. I am but one person. But the truth of the matter is, you are not powerless. You are the most powerful creator. You have made 1,000 decisions that have brought you where you are. And you can make 1,000 decisions to change the trajectory of where you are going. But judgment is the action that keeps separation going. And this is why forgiveness is the most important practice that you can undertake. A Course in Miracles gives you 365 training lessons to teach you how to master your mind. And we will say this once again, if you do not master your mind, there is somebody else who will master your mind. You saw it in the last 3 or 4 years of the COVID experience. Intimidation, coercion, judgment, guilt, manipulation. The folks that used all of those wonderful tactics know how your mind works. And they go to great extents to stop you from learning how your mind works. Millions and millions of dollars are spent on a Super Bowl commercial. Why? Because it works. And we want you to understand this, that mind training is the way out of your suffering. All of you suffer. You have aging parents, you have sicknesses, you have financial problems, you have relationship problems, you have all kinds of problems, but we will tell you humans have about 10 or 12 problems. You're all sharing the same problems. Why are you sharing the same problems? Because you are trained in the same way. You are initiated into the Western world by 12 years of schooling. It takes 12 years to train a human mind. If it took 13 years, you would go to school for 13 years. If it took 9 years, you go to school for 9. It takes 12 years to train a human mind. Once a human mind is trained, it becomes its own prison guard and keeper. Nobody needs to intervene anymore. You, in fact, imprison yourself. Post-secondary education adds another layer of icing to that cake. Television, blockbuster movies, these are all indoctrination programs. You're being so negative, Jesus, you say. What we want you to understand is that we are being truthful. And in your heart of hearts, you can feel it. You know that that black box that is in every room, in everyone's house, is not your friend. But suddenly there's a little black box in your hand that has taken over the black box in the living room. We want you to treat your phones with caution. They are the new televisions. They are the new indoctrinators. We want you to understand this, that you have in your heart and in your mind 2 streams of information. You have the stream of information that comes to you from spirit. That's what you call guidance, that overwhelming urge to do this or to do that, to study this, to study that, to speak to this person or that. But you have another stream of information coming from the conditioned mind, that which you would call the ego mind. It is powerful and is loud, and it speaks first. And often you are listening to that ego mind. Beliefs that come from the ego mind that are indoctrinated through conditioning produce thoughts. And if you believe those thoughts, you get feelings. If you listen to your spirit guidance, you will have thoughts. If you listen to those thoughts, you will have feelings. If you do not understand the difference between these 2 streams of information, you will have what you call mixed emotions, ups and downs, good days and bad days. What we want you to know here is that you do not have to have bad days. Suffering is self-induced. Once you have trained your mind, you will no longer suffer. That is a miracle, you say. That would be a miracle to experience that. And we want you to know that it's called A Course in Miracles for a reason, because it works miracles. Your suffering comes from believing untrue thoughts. Your guidance system is very clear. It is a gift from the divine. When you feel bad, you are off track. When you feel good, keep doing that. The mistake you make is this. You look upon the war in the Middle East, for example, and you feel bad. Our first suggestion to you is that you do not look upon the war in the Middle East. We ask you, why do you watch war? If you watch war, you want war. The greatest gift that you can give yourself at this time is to refuse to watch war, to refuse to take sides, to understand that the beings who are engaged in war halfway around the world are experiencing their own creations. But we are sympathetic, you say. It's terrible, you say. And we say, how do you know? You are watching streams of news companies that have an agenda. They want you to feel bad. Why do they want you to feel bad? Why do they want you to take sides? Because when you feel bad and you take sides and you judge and you make somebody guilty, then you lose your connection to the divine and you lose your guidance system. You go down into the ego mind every time you judge, every time you make somebody else guilty. You give the system that is trying to prevent the ascension process exactly what they want, which is a lessening of your connection to love. So this is very important at this time. As you go through these increasing years of elevation of frequency, the system that is at play on your planet at this time is going to do everything they can to slow your ascension down. And we want to encourage you to do everything that you can to speed your ascension up. And what that means is this: you must stop attacking, you must stop judging, you must stop making yourself and others guilty. We want you to focus on creating your life, experiencing the things that you love, and dedicating your most powerful creative device to bringing forth from within you that which brings you joy and that which, when you do it, makes you forget what the time is. You forget to go to the bathroom, you forget to eat. It doesn't matter whether it's growing flowers, writing poetry, making pottery, riding horses, looking after little children. It doesn't matter. Your guidance system, that blueprint that you have come to this planet with, was given to you because that is your purpose here. If you love growing flowers, don't feel guilty and think, oh, this is a self-indulgent thing I'm doing. I should be doing something more important. No. If you are growing flowers, loving it, enjoying it, extending that which is coming from within you, then you are on purpose. Guilt, shame, sacrifice, and suffering are what the church has taught for thousands of years. And this is designed as an interference process between you and your innate guidance system, which is like an invisible umbilical cord to the divine. You know what you love. You know what feels good to you. And we're not talking here about smoking drugs or eating chocolate cake. We're talking about creativity. We're talking about self-expression. We're talking about that which arises from within you. And we want you to understand that your creativity is you being made in the likeness of the divine. You're loving what you do, loving what you connect with, is you practicing that which is in the likeness of the divine. You are God's, and you have created your body, you have created your family, you have created your finances, you have created the home in which you live. You have done all that. Whether you have done it consciously or unconsciously doesn't matter. It is you, and you are seeing a reflection of your consciousness. And the overall structure of the world and what is going on right now is fascinating and invigorating and powerful. You are on the leading edge. Those of you that are interested in spirit, those of you that are interested in energy systems, you are on the leading edge, but you still have minds that are heavily conditioned. And this is where you are losing your most powerful connection to the divine, in listening to the conditioned lies that you have grown up with. You have swum in a sea of propaganda for so long that you do not realize how deeply you are programmed. And so we brought to this earth plane 50 years ago the training program called A Course in Miracles. It is that training program that is the fastest way to dissolve the ego mind in the form in which it is active at this time. You use your free will every day to choose love. It is important for the projector lens to be clean, and that is your perception. Your perception is contaminated, and we want you to understand this, that no matter what troubles you are having, no matter what sicknesses you are suffering from, no matter what fractured relationships you are suffering from, you have been given a solution to all of it, and it is in the lessons of A Course in Miracles. This training program will help you reclaim your mind back from the politicians, the banking system, McDonald's, whatever it is that has taken over your consciousness. It is going to bring it back to you so that all your power is there for you to use in a loving way to create a magnificent experience here on earth. And once you have clarified your mind, once you have let go of the idea of attack as being a way to get what you want, or using your body as bait to get what you want, or accumulating wealth to get what you want. Now, we are not anti-capitalism here. What we want you to understand is that money is often used as a barrier to you using your creativity. So we want you to understand this. You have everything you need inside of you, and you have been given a manual for this time. Mind control is the weapon of this society at this time. Why are they doing it, you say? Well, the ascension process is underway. It's been underway for decades, and everybody knew that it was coming. Everybody knew who was educated about spiritual matters knew that it was coming. And so how do you maintain your power when you have a process approaching that is going to make you lose your power? You try and slow it down. And that's what's going on in your society at this time. The powers that be are desperately trying to get you to believe in war and violence and judgment and obsession with the body as your salvation. If you look at Instagram and you look at all the photographs of bodies and the experiences there, what we want you to understand is this. The more you become obsessed with the body, the stronger the ego becomes. The more you become obsessed with creativity and self-expression, the weaker the ego becomes. So here you have an opportunity. Everything in this universe at this time is pushing towards the evolution of human consciousness. We want you not to fall into the traps that the media and your technology is offering you. How do you escape this? How do you get away from this? You spend as much time in nature as you possibly can. You limit your addiction to your phones. We ask you that when you go out for a walk each day, you don't take your phone with you. Oh, but I'm going to miss wonderful photographs if I don't take my phone with me, you say. And we understand this, but the fact of the matter is the cameras were put on your phones to make you take them with you wherever you go. They are called cell phones. They are the bars of the new cell. That is what they are. And we want you to use them judiciously. We want you to use them for good. But we want you to be cautious because they are going to be the bars of your new cell. And so why is Jesus speaking through this being? This being studied A Course in Miracles very diligently for 12 years. She had the decade plus 2 to train her mind. She practiced forgiveness. She raised her frequency up out of judgment, up out of self-loathing, things that she suffered from terribly. And we want you to understand this, that you too can raise yourself up out of the lower realms of 3D. But that means that you must forgive. You must forgive the world because it's coming from you. You must forgive those that are your enemies because they are coming from you. You are the projector. You are experiencing only one thing here on earth. You are experiencing your consciousness. So if you are watching war, understand that you want to watch war. Why else would you be doing it? Refuse to watch it. Refuse to give your energy to it. And understand that whatever you focus on, whether it be in revulsion or disgust, you are giving your godlike creative power to it. So be very careful what you watch. Be very careful who you attack, because you are only attacking yourself. That is why I taught you to pray for your enemies, because then you are praying for yourself. So on that Middle Eastern war, whichever side you have taken, whichever side you think is right, pray for the other side, and you will be proving that you understand how this world works and how creation works. I am that one that you know as Jesus. I am here to assist you in your ascension process. I am here to help you stop suffering. And everything you need to know is in A Course in Miracles. It is here, it is for you, and it is for this time.
Through a dark night of the soul, I woke up to realize that we can choose our life and that we can choose our perception. In fact, the only thing we can control is our perception. When I met Zena, I freaked out because I was Catholic and because I really believed in sin, and I believed that the government and something else was going to come and get me. The first phone call that I made in Taiwan when I made contact with Zena was to my husband, who is sitting in the back of the room. Wave, Scotty. He is the reason why I am sitting here, because Scotty had this incessant quest for truth and continued asking for contact with extraterrestrial beings in a way that wouldn't freak him out. And this is the way that didn't freak him out. But it freaked me out. So I called him and I told him, you're not going to believe this. I was in a meditation in Taiwan, and in that meditation, we were being led to a being that had a message for us. And this being ended up being a blue avian, and I will let them introduce themselves. But blue avians are, they are 6 density beings. They're 6 density consciousness. And when they introduced themselves to me, they said that they were here to help us in our ascension. So without further ado, I will bring them in to speak with you guys. You guys ready? Yes. Let's see what they have to say. This is attacking me. It needs to be a little bit farther because they're very animated. My name is Zena. My name is Zena Allen, indeed, and what a pleasure. My name is Zena. I am not Zena. I am consciousness. Consciousness, indeed, focused in a point in order to communicate with humanity. We have humanity's best interest at heart because we have been karmically entangled with you. Your ascension is tied to ours. We love humanity. We love watching your creativity. And we come today with a message of hope so that you understand that you are indeed the captain of your ship, pun intended. That you are indeed creating with your every thought, and that if you so choose to mind your frequency, there is no need to worry, for you cannot make a mistake. You cannot. This message of hope reminds you that with changing your mind, you can change the world around you. How powerful you are. Is this not beautiful indeed? We are Blue Avian consciousness. We reside, if you will, at the 6th density, which means we are vibrating with the love and the light of the one infinite creator. We are indeed one. We come at this time with this message of hope to remind you that your enslavement is an illusion. So we say tonight, lighten up, beings, lighten up. Do not take this life so seriously. Do not. Lighten up and connect with the joy that you truly are, because that is who you really are. It is joy. It is love. That is it. That is your essence. If that doesn't bring a smile to your face, we do not know what will. You are love. what a joy. That is the original thought. That is where you come from. There is an infinite amount of possibilities for a mind that emancipates itself, a mind that liberates itself from the thought that you are limited. And we come today with, well, a recipe, not to cook, but to free your mind and to free yourselves from your mind. So it is a two-step process, let us call it. First, that you free your mind so that it can create without limit, and that you stop believing your mind, because your mind is telling you constantly things that really aren't. Because you come here forgetting who you are and what you truly are so that you may experience yourself. Because just as we are, you are consciousness. You are not the object of your awareness. You are not what you see. You are not the body. You are not the dog that you see. You are the experiencer. You are the awareness. So if you remember this and you take a step back from that energy, you don't go down with it. You stay above it and you observe. You observe without judgment. You observe without going down. And then you really start having a good time here, because truly, it is an amazing opportunity to be incarnated. From our vantage point, when we see you and the opportunities that you have in a body, we rejoice. You see, when you are not incarnated, you cannot feel the way that you can feel in touch with a body. You see the opportunity that you have? So if you so choose to stop seeing suffering, and if you so choose to see this for the opportunity that it is, you become limitless. You become powerful. Well, you are power, but you forget. And when you connect with it, whoa, the joy. And what we perceive is not your bodies. What we perceive is your light. And that light balloons, very much like the atomic bombs that you have created in order to destroy each other, that we will not allow to happen. We will not allow. Now, with this recipe, we come here to remind you that you can break free. You can break free from those limiting beliefs that hold you back, from those relationships that are toxic and that do not serve you anymore, from those jobs that make you miserable, that you spend your 9 to 5 or more so doing something that you don't like to earn cash money to impress people that you may not even like. Futile, dear beings, futile. So why not? This is one of this being's favorite questions. The other one is, what if? Why not free yourselves? Why not break free? But how do we do this? Zena, we are in the 9 to 5. We have bills to pay. What do we do? Well, dear beings, here is step or stage 1. It is radical acceptance. It is accepting that what you have created is already here. You may have wanted a chocolate cake, but you baked a vanilla cake. Does it make any sense to throw yourself on the floor as a toddler and have a temper tantrum because you do not have the cake that you wanted? It really makes no sense. When you stop resisting what is, you stop suffering. And we would so love to see suffering stop. It is futile, it is not required, and it is unnecessary. So rather than resisting what is, you can simply decide to radically accept that you have that chocolate cake now. And that for tomorrow, today, you can go to the store and buy the recipe ingredients for the vanilla cake that you can bake tomorrow. But you go to the store today. Now, this may sound as a ridiculous example, but our mission is to simplify spiritual information, dear beings, so that you can implement it in your daily lives. So we say to you, the now moment is all you have. It is all that exists. And to that dear being that is sitting here that came to hear us speak, we say we love you. That dear being that thinks that he had a past life as a blue avian, we say, you are a blue avian still. It is not a past life, it is parallel. Time is not linear. Welcome home. We continue. We say the present moment is all you have. You are creating from this moment. What is it now that you want for tomorrow? We say focus on it rather than resisting what you already have created. It is already here. In that radical acceptance, what you do is you open the possibilities. It is as if you open a freeway to go into that gratitude that this dear being was referring to. Because when you love every aspect of your creation and you stop fighting it, you go into that space of awareness and of appreciation that opens your heart in a smile. We say this often in our teachings, gratitude is the smile of the heart. Beautiful indeed. And when you are grateful, what you are telling the universe is that you are ready for more. You stop fighting and you are grateful. And when you become grateful, you understand that whatever you created, because you created it, must be a gift to you, from you to you. What a beautiful thing, yes? Even if it is dressed as an apparent tragedy, what you create is always for you. And there's always a gift in it. And if you connect with that gift, you open the stage for the next stage or next step or next milestone, which is allowing yourself to go into your beliefs and examine them and their source. Why is this important? Because, dear loves, you have an operating system, very much like the computers that you have put together. You have an operating system, and it is made out of programs. And these programs run your life, whether you are aware of them or not. So why not become aware of them so that you can create consciously, yes? Because you're going to create regardless. You are creating regardless with your every thought. So if you become aware of what is it that makes you tick, what it is that you are passionate about, what is it that moves you, then you can move in the direction of what you do want rather than creating these apparent tragedies. It is all based on this awareness, and it is all based on frequency. For you are energy vibrating at a certain rate. That is what frequency is. And the higher your frequency, the higher light of events, people, and experiences you will encounter. You're not attracting anything. You're not really manifesting. We used those words when you were a little bit earlier in your education of spirituality and ethereal matters. Manifest. No, you're creating. You're not attracting anything to you. You are creating it from inside of you with your every thought. So when you understand your beliefs, when you examine them and you examine where they came from, you understand yourselves. That is a gift. Understanding yourself. So we say, you can do whatever you want because there's nothing here in this realm that you must do. Nothing. You are free will beings to explore and experience yourselves in whatever shape, way, or form you want to. But you would benefit from understanding the source of your beliefs so that when you understand yourselves, you can go into the next stage, stage 4, which is forgiving yourself. And that, dear loves, for you beings, is at times harder than forgiving the other. But we will tell you, when you are able to forgive yourself because you understand that you were operating with this operating system that you were not aware of, you are able to release the judgment of self and just experience from the heart, with an open heart. Just experience. This is what you are here for. It is through experience that you evolve and that you grow. And that is why you find yourselves in this seeming illusion. It is to evolve. So, when you forgive yourself, you forgive your other selves. Because here's a secret. You are all one. And if you truly feel this and you forgive yourself, you are forgiving your brothers and sisters. And rather than judging them and rather than separating yourself from them, you see the one infinite creator in them. What a joy. What a joy. And so forgiveness transforms your mind. It transforms your perception, and the miracle occurs so that whatever is not true, you can address it. This is stage 5. You address untruths and you ask yourselves, do I know this for a fact? Because we will tell you, dear loves, we observe you, and you operate under assumption after assumption after assumption. You know, we will tell you another secret. You are constantly worried about what you think others think of you. It's not even what they think of you, it's what you think they think. It is so removed from reality, and you chain yourselves to that. We say, do not waste your energy that way if you will. If you want to, you go ahead. You don't have to do anything we are suggesting tonight. In fact, we invite you to question it all. Put it through your feeling center. Not only what we say, but anything that makes it your way. Question it. Put it through your feeling center and decide if it resonates. And if it does, we invite you to do something with it. And if it doesn't, we say, let it go without judgment and go create what does resonate with you. Once you address these untruths and you stop worrying about everybody else's business and you focus on your lane, you are done with the stages of deconstructing what isn't, and it breaks you open and it allows you to create what you do want. Wouldn't you want to create consciously that which you do want? And this is not a rhetorical question. Do you want to create consciously? Oh, yes, you do. Well, we will tell you. If you want to create consciously, know what it is that you want. And this is the next step. It is knowing what you want. Because we see beings explaining ad nauseum in a great length and with great detail what it is that they don't want. But they don't truly know what they do want. So we invite you to go within and start creating with every single cell of your body. Envision what it is that you want. Envision it using all your senses, your sense of smell. What does your vision smell like? What does it feel like? Is it warm? Is it cold? What colors are there? What does it look like? And are there any sounds? When you create from the ego mind, which it's not a bad part of your mind, it is simply a part of your mind that is designed to protect and preserve your physical structure, which, if you want to continue this incarnation, it is very helpful, yes? If you're going to cross a busy road, you want your ego saying, don't go without looking both ways. But you do not want your ego to be in charge. That is all. So when the ego is in charge and you are in the shower and you allow the ego to go unbridled like a wild horse, you create with all your senses. You start thinking that your daughter asked for permission to go to a dance with a boy, and all of a sudden there is an accident in your mind and you feel it and you put all kinds of details in it. Now, that is focusing on a future that does not yet exist. So we invite you to, when you are envisioning what you do want, to stay in the present moment with what is. And be clear as to what it is that you want. And put all your energy, all your senses into envisioning that. And then you move to the 7th stage, which is to plan. Put a plan today in place and be flexible. What are some steps that you can take to get there? If you are tired of that corporate job that is squeezing the life out of you, what are some steps that you can take? Well, you could start interviewing, or you can start creating a side business as a spiritual mentor or so. And you can start taking small steps. It doesn't have to be huge. However, the direction in which your thoughts are going is what tells energy where to go. That is what channeling is, you see? That is setting your intention and going in that direction. And you all can do it. And then you go to the next step, which is take action. Dear loves, here's another secret. The universe is a feedback loop. If you don't act, it does not come back to you. So take action. It is via action that humans turn knowledge into wisdom. And if you want to move into the 5th density, the density of wisdom, we say take action, dear loves, and make that action in alignment with love. And once you have completed all these stages, you surrender and trust. That is the last stage. You surrender and you trust, which is the same thing as radical acceptance. To surrender does not mean to give up. Your military likes have given it that definition of giving up, which confuses you because then you don't know how to let go of the reins. You're always hanging tight to that horse's mouth and the horse is fighting you. Let that poor thing go and relax. Relax into this beautiful opportunity that you have here that you call an incarnation. Surrender and trust. Know that you cannot make a mistake because you are creating exactly what you need. So instead of worrying, mind your frequency. Do that which brings you joy. Stay in alignment with love. Help yourself first, and when you are full, help your brothers and sisters. We love you. My name is Zena Allen, and we will speak again. My name is Zena. My name is Zena Allen indeed. And we appreciate this inquiry because humans like to calm their nervous system. Humans like to label things. This is why we use the name Zena, although we are not Zena. We have given this being a name so that she can put our work out in the world and you can calm your nervous system. You like to label, you like to categorize. So with that said, we're going to explain a little bit who we are. We are the bird tribes, the original bird tribes. We are what you would call angels. We don't fully have wings. What has been depicted as wings throughout your history is our energy emanating out. When we have approached humanity in the past in what you would call a body, let us call it, a more dense form of it and of our energy, you have interpreted us as angels. We have done this with civilizations such as the what you call ancient Egyptians, the Mayans, and the Incas. Every time that we have approached humans in this form, there has been a manipulation of the law of one, which we transmitted to humanity, and it was kept from the masses. It is the priests of those times that have taken that information, and in fact, in ancient Egypt, that information was taken and it was brought to other parts of what you now call Europe. And these are the beings that have the knowledge of the laws of creation, the laws of one, the unity that would completely transform your society. It was in this slight, let us call it, miscalculation of your ego that we became karmically entangled with humanity. We have a sense of responsibility for not having calculated what the ego would do and the subsequent events that would bring the self-enslavery of the human mind. So why are we here now? Because the ascension is afoot. It is already taking place. We come in different manners. We don't just come through this being, but this is one of the ways that we are working. There are many ways, and the recipe for breaking free that we just gave you is simply one way to go home. There are as many ways home as there are beings on this planet. There is no right or wrong way. In fact, there is no right or wrong. This is a world or a plane of duality where you come to experience hot and cold and bad and good. But it is all an illusion. These polarizations are simply distortions of what really is, which is love. And we are here at this time to remind you that that is all there is. When, because it is a matter of time, when you remember, we will ascend with you. We love you.